Ooh. Hello, Crystal Palace. And I started on the wrong camera there because I'm so professional. Good morning, Crystal Palace. How are you doing? My name is Galena Rain. I am the technical manager at the Upper Norwood Library Hub, and this is the Library Live Lunch. Yeah, it is. I am standing in for host Eleanor, who is off doing wonderful volunteering for folks that need it way more than we do. I think she's away in some nice country somewhere, Croatia, perhaps. It's amazing, amazing. As you can tell, I'm not actually in the library. The library is still closed at the moment. Some of the Lambeth libraries are open. Ours is not. I'm not entirely sure when we're going to be open yet. I've not got that much information on that, but when we do, I will share it with you. I should just make that my catchphrase. I'd like to thank Joanne, who's joined us. Joanne has joined us, as well as Agata, yeah, Gaynell has joined us as well. And I think that's all for the names I can see at the moment. If you're out there, please let us know in the chat. This show is about you guys as much as it is about us. If you have any comments or questions, you can just drop them in any of the chats on any of the feeds that you happen to be on across the old internet there. So I would like to welcome Alison from the Paxton Green Time Bank to us. Hello, Alison. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm pretty good this morning. So I have never heard of the Paxton Green Time Bank. What is the crack and what does it do?
So the Paxton Green Time Bank is basically it's a skills exchange. So for every hour you spend helping somebody in the community, so sharing your time, teaching them a new skill, doing them a favor, whatever it is, you earn 1 credit for every hour you give, and then you can get help back in return. So it's basically reciprocal volunteering.
Okay, cool. And what kind of topics do you cover in that, I guess?
So, because we're a co production charity, we basically do anything that anybody wants to do. So, we were set up with a well-being remit. So, we do things that make people feel good about themselves. But we can do anything really. People offer time teaching things like teaching IT, teaching how to play the guitar, or practical help like painting people's ceilings, hanging the curtains, walking the dog, services like Reiki, help with CV writing. You know, every time somebody new joins, they bring a new sort of set of skills. So it can be anything really.
This does sound quite like the stuff that we've been doing in the Crystal Palace Library of People, where we had folks come on our live stream and do skill share. So we had somebody teaching running, for example. Maybe there's a tie-in that we could get across our internet, our live stream channel, and your volunteers. It sounds like there's a good tie-in there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's definitely a very good fit. And we've been supporting our members to be more online, you know, through necessity recently. So yeah, I'm sure there is a way we could work together. It's very much similar. So, you know, like they have the library of things, but as you said, it's people instead of things. So yeah.
Yeah, we've been looking at that actually. We've been looking at hiring a person so you can sit down and chat with them for an hour, and that we saw somebody had posted it in Belgium. A library was doing that, and our management are very keen to kind of bring on that idea. But it seems like you've got this all tied up in the bag. So maybe if we, I mean, do you have a venue that you work out of?
Yes, so we do. I mean, our base is in Kingswood House, down on the Kingswood estate, at the bottom of the palace. But we run projects across Lambeth and Southwark, so we use a variety of local venues in normal life. At the moment, as you can imagine, everything's pretty much online and over the phone. But yes, I mean, we've been running since 2008. And befriending, for want of a better word, is one of the skills that members most like to offer. But we find that when you frame it around an activity, it's more engaging and it's more meaningful, and people find it easier to talk because you know people don't really want to be befriended, but people might like to share some time with someone that they've got a mutual interest with. It's more reciprocal and it's less patronizing almost. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely something. that I think the library should certainly have you guys doing, like mornings in real life when we get back to normal, whatever that will be. Like having,
Yeah.
like, we have the grief counselors come in on a
Mm.
Tuesday morning and sit with folks and things like that. So perhaps we can work out something where you take over the cafe on certain mornings, and then that, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah, we'd
that's a
love to
thing.
do that. That'd be great. Yeah.
Amazing. So how did the whole thing get started?
So we were started, as I said, back in 2008 by some local GPs from Paxton Green Health Centre. So they wanted to be able to prescribe community to people,
Oh, nice.
to what they call their heart sync patients. So they're the patients that when you go into the doctor's heart sinks because they know that as much as they need medication, what they really need is people to talk to, social engagement, something to do. So it was like the early days of social prescribing, basically. So that's how we were set up. So we started off just taking referrals from the GPs, but now we're open to anyone that lives or works in Lambeth or Southwark.
That's very cool. That's interesting. I've never heard. Obviously, I would have thought that doctors would have needed that kind of thing, but you just don't think that somebody would actually go and create it. It's amazing. It's
Mm.
amazing. And the would you say there's the main aims and ethos of the work? What is that, to build community, or is it to keep? I mean, what is the reason for the whole thing?
Yeah, so really, the reason for the whole thing is to build sustainable networks and healthy communities, healthy in the sense of robust and well connected. So again, where it's reciprocal, instead of traditional charity models, which obviously have a great place, but in a traditional charity, someone is always the helper and someone is always the helped. Whereas in time banking, we recognize that sometimes people are able to give things and other times people need things. So we find that the relationships that people make are more equal, if that makes sense.
Yes, yes.
Because everyone gives sometimes, everyone needs sometimes. And we've got a well-being remit, so we frame our work around the 5 ways of well-being very loosely. So we encourage people to, learn, give, take notice, connect, all of that sort of stuff, be active. Um, and the core values of time banking are all around firstly recognizing people as assets. So instead of defining people by their need, this is Barbara, she's unwell, she's on benefits, or she needs her garden fixing, or whatever it is. It can be, this is Barbara and she's excellent at knitting and she can teach you how to Zoom. So it's recognizing people as assets because that obviously has a well-being and confidence impact. And then when people's self-confidence is raised, they're more likely to make positive life choices. That is the thinking behind it. We also believe that everyone's time is equal. So whatever skill you're offering, an hour is an hour.
Okay.
So it makes it more of a level playing field, which allows different sectors of the community to come together.
Yeah. There's. I'm just interested in how has the current situation, because of the reasons, has this impacted on the volunteers you've had come to you? I mean, obviously, there's a lot of
Yes.
professionals who that are currently not working. Have they come to you over this period?
Yeah, they have. So that's been really nice because they people that are furloughed or whatever it might have been, they've had suddenly a lot of time on their hands. Most of them were not shielding, so they were able to go out the house, which is always useful. So they've been given a lot of time doing things like delivering food for us, picking up prescriptions for people, and also a lot of telephone work. So all of our activities have had to move online or onto the telephone. So we've got a great network of people phoning each other, sort of check and chat kind of thing, just to see what's going on. And also we've got people offering some more interesting things. Like we have one lady who's an opera singer and she phones up one of our care homes that we work with and she sings opera down the phone to the residents at the care home. So all sorts of interesting things have been happening. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, so like we could, so something along those lines, like we could have a mashup of the our services and your services, and just that opera one is the first one that comes to mind. That we could live stream that opera singer into a nursing the nurse, and the nursing home could then come onto the channel and see it, and the quality would be better than just phoning because the telephone
Yeah.
would be terrible, and we could also do some
Yeah.
video and stuff with that. So that's exactly the kind of thing that we are definitely looking to hook up for, and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And if there are still people who maybe have not gone back to work, looking at you, all the live event folk, is there something that maybe they could get involved in? Is there certain needs perhaps that are not filled not right at this time that you guys?
Sure. I mean, firstly, because we're into co-production, we just want to support people to do whatever they want to do. So if people have just got an idea that they want to try, we're always happy to try and help people float something, see if it works. But specifically at the moment, we are always looking for more people to do telephone work. If people want to run any Zoom workshops or anything like that, they're very welcome to. We've got a lot of older members who really like quizzes. So if anybody would like to run a quiz on WhatsApp or any sort of platform, we've just about got some people onto WhatsApp. So there's different. Some people are good at Zoom, some people are not. You know what it's like. Also, we're running a food hub every Monday afternoon out of Kingswood's house. The council has asked us to deliver food to vulnerable people. We're limited in the number of volunteers we can have because of distancing, but it's always useful to have a few people in reserve. So if anybody enjoys carrying parcels of food around in hot weather, they're very welcome to come and join us, because yeah, especially if they drive, that's even better, or cycle. So yeah.
Well, I appreciate it's hot, everybody, but this is the best time to lose weight. Think of all the pounds you'd shed cycling around some food. I actually have a partner. My fella May has 3 days off a week and is often quite bored. So perhaps I could talk him into cycling you some food around. Maybe that would work. We've got a comment from the floor. It's Gainel, and she says, "What a great sounding service! I like the idea of time bank stroke library hub mashup." Oh, there you go. I'm assuming you know about Casper's community web project where he teaches folks about Zoom and things. Have you?
Yes, that's right. He's been helping us with some of our members as well. Actually, it's been great to have that resource. He's brilliant.
Yeah, I definitely feel there's a really nice tie-in from what the library directors really want to do, which is exactly what you're doing. But bring it onto the live stream and then also have it in the library itself, where people can hire folks for an hour or things like that. Yeah, that sounds amazing. So have you had many huge challenges? Of course you have. Everyone has. What a silly question. What are your challenges and perhaps positives from this current situation?
So our challenges recently have been probably making sure we stay in touch with everybody. We've got over 1,000 members spread across the two boroughs, and just trying to keep in touch with everybody, just especially in those early days of when it all started kicking off, making sure everybody was all right, they had what they needed. That was interesting. We've 17 weeks in, or however much it is, we're all right now, I think. We were asked by the council to turn into a food hub, so that was a completely new direction for us, supporting isolated and vulnerable people and providing them with basic food stuff. So that was quite a steep learning curve, sort of coordinating that, the logistics of it all. But it's been really good, and there's been a lot of positives. Like, as we mentioned earlier, we've engaged with new members that we wouldn't have probably been able to before, sort of young professionals and people that are off of work at the moment, which is lovely. We have made some more really good connections with local charities and other organisations that we've always been friendly with, but I think a crisis forces action. So we've been like, right, let's get this done as quickly as possible. Invisible Palace have been brilliant. We did a project with them where they got Eastern cuisine to deliver meals to 60 of our members every week for 12
Oh,
weeks,
cool.
which was unbelievable. We've had other local businesses donating boxes and stuff for the food hub. And it's just been really nice to see that you can, you know, cut through all the red tape and jargon sometimes and just get on with stuff and work together. And it's been really nice. That's been the best bit of it, I think.
Yeah, I think that a lot of community, this has been a real period of people coming together. I've certainly felt like people have been politer to each other. Perhaps not on the internet, but that's the internet for you. But in the day-to-day life, and just generally everybody wants to help out rather than, you know, not. Which is kind of, I think people think that Londoners in general are very insular and don't want to know their neighbours. But in actually fact, throw in a bit of a crisis and everyone's like, oh yeah, let's get together and make sure everyone's fine, which is very cool.
That's right. I think it forced a pause. It made people, you know, you need permission to have time to get to know people sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. And it has been a great pause in the whole. I was going to go really deep, meaningful, and psychological. And we'll save that. We'll save that for a late evening with a glass of wine, shall we? Rather than this show right now. So you've got yourself involved with Crystal Palace Festival. How did that come about then?
Well, we've had stalls at the community bit in the past. So, and you know, because we've been around since 2008, so we sort of known people for ages, spoke to Noreen, and then we were invited to be one of their charities, which we were really grateful for. It's very exciting, so we really appreciate it.
Amazing. And are you doing anything over this coming weekend? Are you doing anything special over this weekend during the festival? Is what I'm asking.
No, I mean we're encouraging people to join in and watch it and stuff like that, and we shall certainly be doing the same. But no, we haven't been able to organise any extra stuff on top of, but we're hoping to encourage people to join in with what's going on already.
Okay, amazing. So what day of the week was your food hub on?
It's on a Monday, every Monday.
Every Monday. So if people want to get involved with you, where do they contact you?
So they can get in touch with me on our website or on Twitter or Facebook. I can give my email address as well if people want to email me. Yeah, it's Alison, ALISON at pgtimebank.org. Yeah, or you can Google us. We're easy to find.
Yeah, I'm just putting up all your wee links here at the bottom. Yeah, amazing. So thank you very much for joining us. That is amazing. I didn't even know you existed. I didn't know you were there at all. I'm new, so you know I arrived here in a bubble, so I know nothing. But that's fantastic, and I think there's a lot of tie-ins, especially with the stuff at the library. People are always talking about doing this kind of thing in real life, and then on the live streams, and all the rest. So we shall definitely have further conversations on this very, very subject, I'm pretty sure. I'll just go on to the other stuff I need to talk about. Sorry, we do have a comment from Invisible Palace saying, thanks, Alison. Our volunteers have really enjoyed working with your charity. That's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
So I'll just go on with the little bits of stuff that we need to clear down before we can finish. We're doing quite well this afternoon. Obviously, this weekend starts Crystal Palace Festival. We will have Noreen back on the show tomorrow to tell us all about the goings on. We'll also have another charity partner with us on Thursday. And then we've got another guest who's completely gone out of my head. Well, I should have a teleprompter or maybe just any help, that would be good. Yes, and then so the last thing I want to talk about is if you know folks in the community who have tech issues and they want to learn how to use them, or they need any help ordering online or dealing with the banks, or whatever our digital world throws at them, please contact Clear Community Web. The details for such are in the description of this video, and I will also put them in the chat. There's a phone number there. Casper's very nice. He's also a charity, Crystal Palace Festival official charity, and we will have him back on the show at some point in late August, talking about all of that. And then the last thing I need to tell you is that we still are taking in folks for the All Alone Together project. So this project is it is Arts Council funded. Basically, Eleanor will come on and she will interview you about how COVID has had an impact on your household, your work, things like that. And that information will then be used by the local councils to see if there are gaps in the services that are provided, and if there's anything else that the local services can provide to make things better for everybody. Amazing. So if you want to be part of that project, all you need to do is fill out this questionnaire that I'm currently putting in all the chats. It's a 4 question questionnaire. It takes no time at all. And then once that's done, Eleanor at some point will contact you and you'll get interviewed. You can say as much and as little as you like. And what will happen with that stuff as well is going as the information being gathered for the councils. We are making a podcast, an audio podcast of these strange times that are in front of us. And that will be available for folks to come into the library and listen to, as well as being made into a podcast that's downloadable for iTunes, Spotify, and all the good podcast locations. You can veto yourself out of that should you not wish to be that public about what's going on. But the option is yours. So I've just put that link in. Please come and find us there. You can also join our mailing list over at uppernorwoodlibraryhub.org, which is also in the comments, and that will keep you up to date with all the good goings on that are happening at the library, and hopefully in future maybe some setups between our charity and the Paxton Green Time Bank, because that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Okay, and we're going to go sorry, I always do this. I always go to the end screen by accident because I'm trying to do too many things at once. There's too many buttons and I press them all at once and it gets a bit messy. I do apologize. So please come back the rest of the week. We're here all week, mostly dealing with Crystal Palace Festival, folks. And thank you, Alison, for joining us. It has been lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And we will see you all next time. All right. Bye-bye.